So today is our Win Wednesday, and our guest today is Jill Mearns. And Jill is a wife, mother, and daughter, and a friend. And she is the lead instructor at a boutique cycling studio called Cycle Bar here in Dallas. And one of the reason that I brought Jill on is Jill is a late bloomer, as she says. She didn't start teaching, she didn't start teaching in the fitness industry until she was almost 40. She's a certified personal trainer and also a certified coach at Cooper Clinic. She's also a brand ambassador with Athleta, and she's the lead cycle instructor at Cycle Bar. And I can attest to the fact that Jill was just a little bit before 40 before she started doing her spin classes. And Jill and I had the opportunity to sit down right before her 50th birthday and discuss what 50 meant for her. And at that time, there were a lot of fears and some beliefs that had her, I'd say, a little shaky. Would you agree?
I would agree, yes.
So I'd say since your 50th, not only have you survived, but you have thrived. I believe that those limiting beliefs turned out to be false.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so take us back to some of the things that you were thinking right before your 50th birthday.
Well, I think right before I turned 50, first of all, I am probably the oldest cycle instructor, especially female in the boutique world, definitely in Dallas. Mm-hmm. Approaching 50, but all of my other instructors are in their 20s and 30s, and here I am, I can be their mom. And so I think a lot of it was, how do I stay relevant? What do I do when my body is unable to teach all these classes a week? And just a fear to not be able to have that feeling that I get from teaching. It feeds me so much. And I had to think a lot about what are the important things that I get from this, and how do I make that continue to happen even if this can't happen? So I think I was just really afraid of, what if I lose all this? What's that going to look like in my life?
So 50 came and 50 went.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that after you were 50, you became the brand ambassador for Athleta.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Which is very cool. And so what other things have happened since you have turned 50 that, I know you're getting ready to embark on something new. So tell us about that too.
Well, okay. So I think starting about a little bit before when you and I talked, so I just turned 51 in September. And I think I've spent this last year and a half, what will that look like? And I think you helped me kind of think through that and not get so freaked out about it's not going to be tomorrow, but maybe starting to think about what that journey is. And it made me think a lot about what parts of what I do I love. Mm-hmm. The reason I got into teaching cycling is because I love helping people work towards a goal. I love helping people find strength and resilience in their lives. And I like that therapeutic thing that happens when we clip in a dark room and spin class. And so I think that over the past year and a half or so, I've been thinking about what are ways that I can do that that might be different. And so I was thinking a little bit smaller for a while, because I think, gosh, I need to probably get going on it real quick, but then I thought, no, I'm going to think a little bit bigger. What do I really want to do? And so I am going to take the GRE and I'm going to go to grad school, and which is crazy, because here I am, but I have always, when I was younger, I wanted to be a psych major. And my dad said, you need to be a business major if I'm paying for college. It's the same thing. Just do marketing. Then you don't have to go to grad school. And so all these years, I've always said, gosh, what I really wanted to do is be a therapist. But all these years, I was like, yeah, but I didn't. And I think what I've realized is it's not too late. And I think it's cool when I teach and I have these women in my class that are older than me. They really inspire me because I'm seeing them embark on new things and see them grow. And it's a great reminder for me that I'm not done yet. Because it's scary when you think all of a sudden you're 50 that maybe I'm kind of done. Maybe it's not my turn. Maybe my turn was back in my 20s and now I've raised my kids and now I just need to be. And that's not what I want to do. So I made the decision. That's what I'm doing. And I'm going for it. So I've been studying. I have to take the GRE. And I haven't done math since I was about 19. But I have to do the math part. So I've been like sitting on the computer doing math every night. And I'm doing it. So it's not too late. And I don't know exactly what it's going to look like. And I'm just not going to worry about it. But I'm just going to like take the next step.
I love that attitude that it's not too late and you're not going to worry about it. One of my missions is that I think I've expressed this to you before, is to make sure that, or to try and touch as many people and encourage them to do what they love and follow their heart. And regardless of when that is. And I always think if more and more people are doing what they love, just think about how wonderful this place would be to live in if everyone was so much happier. But with that being said, there is so much fear, like you just said. Okay, so, math, you haven't approached since you were 19. How do you sit yourself down behind the computer and go do that? Push yourself to do that. What do you do?
And just do it. It's interesting. I think I got like the Kaplan book and I was watching the videos and reading about it. And one of the things they said that really helped me is they said, especially on the math part, they said, this isn't a math test. It's a problem solving test. And I was like, oh, heck yeah. I know how to solve problems. I can do this. So I'm just trying to approach it a little bit differently. Not like, oh gosh, I have to do math, but all right, I'm really good at solving problems. So I'm going to use that problem solving part of my brain and go approach it that way.
I love that you reframe that, because so much of our thought process, needs to be reframed, especially when we look at something as a problem. Is it really a problem? Or is there a possibility in there? Is there a solution that you can find? If you look at it from a solution, it's no longer a problem. I also find it very fascinating that, a year and a half ago, 50 scared you, and now you're like, screw it.
Yeah.
I'm going for it. I love it. So
and I think even dialing it back, I think, before I got the cycle bar job, I remember being kind of down. My youngest was a senior in high school, and I was kind of doing things I didn't love. I was teaching spin. It was fine. Everything was fine. I wasn't excited about anything. And I really kind of thought, okay, this is what this is 50s. This time of my life is like now everybody leaves and this thing that was my whole identity is changing, and how do I move forward with that? And so I think like Cycle Bar was just this huge reminder to me, this huge blessing, because it was like I had something to be really excited about. And I think for me, and I think for everyone, if we can find something we're excited about, like you just find flow. I have a friend that used to talk about finding those things that give you oxygen. And I think that's such a good way to say it. Like, I don't know that as women in our 50s, we have to go back to school or we have to find a new career. We have to do anything massive, but we need to find something that we're excited to do that's about us. I think to me, that's the secret. What do you think?
It's funny that you said that, because your demeanor when you were talking about fine, you looked up, you just froze. There you are. Your demeanor when you said fine, your demeanor and your facial structure, you looked 50. And then, and then when you started talking about getting in flow and doing something that gives you oxygen, it's amazing how much more youthful you look. And the fact that you said that it doesn't have to be massive. One of my rants was, and a friend had just tweeted, I'm going to put it in the group later. a woman in the group had said she heard my rant a few months ago about just doing something small for you can make a huge difference. Do what makes you happy. And, she's growing her hair out, and all of a sudden she's like, I'm getting all these compliments and I feel much more youthful. I feel more energetic. And it's just like you said, I mean, if it's a small thing, but it gives you oxygen creates collagen.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
There we go. We've got our anti-aging all wrapped up into one. So the happier we are, the younger we appear.
I agree. And I love the musical, The Color Purple. And at the very end, where everything kind of comes together, and Celie has her business, she has her sister back, she has her children back. And she said, she's an old woman at the time. She says, this is the youngest I've ever been. And it's so true.
And
it's so
how old
true.
was Celie at that point in the movie? Do you remember?
She was probably in her 60s, don't you think?
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe more. Yeah.
Well, and the other thing is that, we're living, part of, I know what you were talking about is the stereotypical of over 50. It's like, that's that magical point in our life where we think we're the old adage was over the hill. But we're living 34 years longer than our great grandparents did. But yet, as society, we haven't caught up to that.
Right.
And so I love that you're breaking that barrier of just saying, screw it. This is what I want to do. I have the energy. I have the ability. I'm going to do it. It doesn't matter if it takes me, how long are you thinking that this is going to take you to do your master's?
I think it'll probably take, I'm guessing 2.5, 3 years.
Okay.
Depending on how many classes I can take at a time. And that's okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. And in the meantime, I'm still teaching. And I might still teach after that. And I am not great with change. I would love to say that I am. It is a great area of opportunity for me. So what I have to say is nothing's going to change tomorrow. And I can always teach less, go to classes. I can do different things, but I just need to put that foot forward and start going in that direction, just trusting. I mean, in our lives, as we look back, always when we trust, things just work out. Things present themselves. Opportunities happen if our hearts are open, I think.
I totally agree with that. And I want to thank you for sharing with us today your new journey and your path that you've been on in the past 1.5 years, 2 years. And I hope you'll come back and talk to us again in 6 months and let us know where you are. But I do have to say one thing that Jill wrote in her bio, and I absolutely love it. And it is so true of Jill. If you ever are in Dallas, please try and get to one of her classes. They're so inspirational. She'll kick your ass, but she will inspire you along the way. But she is passionate about helping women tap into their strength and resiliency, something many of us tend to forget about while we are busy taking care of others, and a strong believer that no matter our age, we can continue to reach for new challenges and opportunities. So well said, and so in line with our Glow Getters and the Connected CEO. So thank you so much for sharing with us, and we look forward to seeing you again in 6 months.
Thanks so much, Joanne. This has been fun. It's great talking with you.
Okay, I'm gonna